Chapter 3591. You damn swindler. Currently, William is ready to welcome 3 billion euros in a Concorde plane. Everyone on the scene except for Charlie looked at the hand of the bookie and held their breath. This card will determine the presence of billions of euros on the table. William and Olivia were in their hands. Charlie didn't care at all at the moment. His expression was neither happy nor sad, neither rushed nor slow, as if everything had nothing to do with him. At this time, the dealer took the card and suddenly turned it over and threw it forward. William. At this time, William has not seen exactly what the card is, and the whole person has been struck by lightning. Because he saw his own card was red. Charlie's 4 aces were already there, and if William wanted to win, he had to have a straight flush. The ace of spades is already in Charlie's hands, so if William wants to win, the 5th card can only and must be 9 of spades. Anyone who has ever blown gold flowers knows that it's very rare to get 3 straight flushes, let alone 5 straight flushes. However, William was not worried at all. Because he knows that his bookie friend can make any card he wants. Therefore, he had long concluded that this card must be 9 of spades. However, once the card is red, then William doesn't need to see what point it is at all. He can be absolutely sure that the card is lost on its own. Apart from Charlie and Helena, the rest were William's fiancé or William's friends. So when they saw that the whole card turned out to be a red card, everyone couldn't help but cry out in immense regret. Olivia is going to have a heart attack. I thought William took the big one, and thought about how to celebrate it later, but he didn't expect William to lose so much when he turned his head. Suddenly, the future queen of Northern Europe became very nervous, and muttered in her heart, "How is this? How can it be like this? Why not 9 spades? 9 spades." William was even more confused. On the contrary, the huge gap of billions of euros left his whole brain blank. He subconsciously shouted, "This. How is this possible? This is absolutely impossible. My card should be the number 9 of spades. How can it be square 6? Who traded my cards?" Charlie immediately put away the rich boy's original appearance, and looked at William with a sneer. "This is really impossible. This card is your father. You let it be 9 spades, he is 9 spades. It's just damn." Quote. William was mad, glared at his bookie friends, and shouted, "It's you. Are you playing with me on purpose? What's the use of the surname you gave? How can you do such a thing?" Charlie said coldly, "William, what you said was a bit too irresponsible, right? You guys, I saw it for the first time today. I don't even know this guest bookie friend. Obviously the bad card is your own. So why are you blaming other people? I have lost many times to you. Have I ever blamed the bookie?" William had long since lost his normal mind. At this moment, he was a complete loser gambler. He gritted his teeth and said, "You played me a lot. I already told him to help me make cards and let me win. But he just made me lose the most important thing. There must be a damn conspiracy. Charlie, you must be the one to eat the black one." Everyone was dumbfounded at this moment. It was only at this moment that the other bodyguards realized that William and the bookie are colluding. William is also anxious at this time, and the whole person is really irrational. He now believes that the bookie in turn cooperates with Charlie and eats himself to death, so naturally he is very unhappy in his heart. But he didn't think that, in a word, he was selling himself. Charlie stood up at this time and said coldly, "Oh, so, you cooperate with other people to make money. Do you know the rules of the gambling table?" Chapter 3592. William suddenly woke up. Realizing that he had said something wrong, he immediately denied, "I'm not out. I'm just talking nonsense." Charlie sneered and said, "Is that bull 5H? Good." Quote. After Charlie said, he looked at the city and asked sternly, "You explain the situation clearly." The dealer hastily said, "William asked me to come today because he wanted me to help him make cards in a gambling game and let him win some money. He has done this more than once. And every time he does this, I get at least 10,000 euros, even hundreds of thousands. This time I was also instructed by him, so I helped him out the money. Comma. Charlie looked at William and asked coldly, "Come on, what else do you have to say?" William didn't know how to respond for a while, and at this moment, he suddenly caught a glimpse of the agreement on the table. Today, he originally won 1 billion Charlie, and now he has signed a 2 billion agreement, which means that not only did he win Charlie's money, he still owed Charlie 1 billion. But he felt that all the evidence of debt was in the agreement. As long as the agreement is lost, this account will naturally not be counted. As long as you break the agreement, it's considered playing all night for free. So, he thought he took a sudden quick step, reached out his hand to take the agreement, and put it in his mouth when he was crazy. But what he called fast, in Charlie's eyes, was already as slow as an ant. Just as William was about to put the agreement in his mouth, he suddenly felt his wrist being tightly grasped. Immediately after, there was an extremely sharp cracking sound from his right wrist. Click. He only felt a sharp pain in his right wrist. He looked up and found that his wrist was connected to the rest of the arm with only a layer of flesh. The bone had been broken for a long time, and even the broken bone stump pierced the skin, and the blood flowed continuously. Charlie had already taken the agreement from his hands at this time, and said coldly, "William, you can do it. It doesn't matter if you pay $1,000. If you lose money, you will eat the agreement. You damn swindler." With that, Charlie warned him ruthlessly, "If something goes wrong again, the next thing to break like this is the thing in your groin." William almost fainted, and cold sweat caused by severe pain ran all over his face. He knew that he was ruthless today, and finally realized that Charlie had pretended to be weak and ate a tiger before. But he was really afraid that Charlie would ruin his manhood. So, he could only grit his teeth and said, "Okay. Charlie, you are amazing, I will assure you." Charlie sneered, "Don't obey me, I don't need you to obey. You pay me 2 billion euros first. It's written in the agreement. I won't forgive you in the slightest." "What?" Quote. William roared furiously, "First just won you 1 billion. Now I lost you 2 billion, and at most I owe you 1 billion. Charlie said with a serious face, "Don't play hooligans with me here. Now all the chips on the game table are mine. Who will you win 1 billion? As he said, Charlie smiled disdainfully, and said, "Besides, the chips we use are just plastic toys, not money. But in this agreement written on paper, signed and agreed, is money in the truest sense. Do you understand?" William was angry and said, "Charlie, are you still not human? So many people can testify to me here. They are all witnesses." Charlie nodded. "It doesn't matter, you have your witnesses. But I have solid evidence." After saying that, Charlie said again, "Or let's do it like this. Tomorrow we will are in local courts in Northern Europe. You call all your witnesses to court, and I will show this agreement in court. After that we'll see how the court decides." After speaking, Charlie said again, "In addition, let us also let the Europeans judge, whether you owe me 2 billion euros in black and white justified, or you and others have come with 1,000 losses to me, but in the end I turned against you. Killing you made more sense." When William heard this, his face paled in fright. But Charlie wasn't done yet. He looked at William and continued, "Oh right, let the Nordic judiciary study it. You gamble, try to win 3 billion euros plus an airplane, such a big thing. According to Nordic law, how many years will you be punished?" Please subscribe to my YouTube channel for new updates. Thank you very much for watching, keep safe everyone, and God bless you all.